Hey everybody, it's Tom with Path to Billions, helping you find a path towards financial freedom and a better life. If you want to join me on that path, please consider subscribing. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing how much money I have lost doing Amazon FBA. Yes, you have heard that right, I have lost money doing Amazon FBA. However, I think it's really important to share this information because you have to realize when you are self-employed, it is a real possibility that you lose some money. But each time you lose money or each time you make a mistake, it should be a lesson to learn from so you prevent yourself from making the same mistakes over again. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with this video. I'm going to pull a list from Inventory Lab and I'm going to go through each item that I've lost money on, give you why I think I lost money and how you can prevent it yourself. Now, just a quick aside, if you do not have Inventory Lab and you are planning on taking Amazon seriously, I highly recommend it, and I'll leave an affiliate link down in the description. Now let's jump over to the list and start going through it. So you can see on this list I have the order price, which is what the customer paid for it, the net profit, how much money I've lost, my profit margin, my return on investment, and my buy cost. Now you can see there's quite a few of these on this list, so we'll only go through a couple of them, but I think there's some important lessons in here that you can take away. So let's just start from the beginning. So, for this first one here, it is a kitchen appliance. And what happened for this one was, I actually bought this around Q4 of last year. And at the time, it had a high demand on Amazon because of the holiday season. Amazon was actually selling these, but they could not keep it in stock due to the artificially inflated demand. And so I was actually able to sell these for $80, $90. I was making really good money on them. However, once the Q4 rush died down, they were no longer as in demand. Amazon was able to keep them in stock, and so I had to decide between either paying long-term storage fees or just cutting my losses and getting rid of them. I chose to cut my losses and get rid of them. So these first two, you can see I lost $15 each, so that's $30 right there. On the next item, you'll see it's sold for $0. What happens here is if Amazon sends an item and it breaks during shipment or whatever, Amazon will send a replacement item from your inventory. In theory, you should be reimbursed for that. I'm going to make a video in the future about reimbursements, so make sure you subscribe to be notified when that video comes out. The next two are actually the same as the first one, same item, just different color. Then if we scroll down a little farther, another replacement. This one here that sold for almost $45. This one I actually lost money on. I bought nearly 70 units of this product. They had different colors, different sizes. And this one I actually bought before I had a repricer. So when I bought it, say the price was like $60, the price started dropping, but because I didn't have a repricer to automatically reprice the items, I wasn't able to keep up with the buy box. And so eventually, when I did update the price, it was too late and I already lost money on it. So this one, my next video is actually going to be about why you should get a repricer. And this is a perfect example. Because buy box prices always could change, especially when people are sending in the same items. The price is going to drop at some point and you want to be able to keep up with that price drop. So it's important to have a repricer to follow that price drop. Then you can see here a bunch more replacements. So you got 3 more of the first 2 items actually. So now we're up to like $70 lost on these items. I think all told, with the ones I actually did manage to sell for a profit, combined with the ones I sold for a loss, I ultimately did make money over the whole batch. It just sucks to sell so many of them for a loss. Next up, we have this one that I sold for about $12. See, I lost $7 each on these. So that's a pretty bad return on investment. And this one's actually kind of funny. I bought these on clearance at Target. And at the time, I should have listened to my girlfriend. She said not to buy them because it was an older video game that no one plays anymore. But the numbers made sense to me when I was buying it. So I was like, hey, what the heck. Apparently, I should have listened to her. The price dropped pretty quickly. And I wasn't able to keep up with it. I don't think I had a repricer at the time. So again, repricer would have helped there. Next up, we have this one that sold for $30. And again, similar to the last one in the sense that it's a video game. Now, With video games, you have to be very careful when buying and selling them. The problem with older games is, especially if they're on clearance, is there's going to be a lot of people that are selling on Amazon that are going to buy these and send them in, and so the price can drop rather rapidly. So again, you want to have that repricer so you can catch the price as it's dropping and hopefully get yours out. The other big tip for video games is don't buy a bunch of them at one time, because if you sell them for a loss like these three, I only sold 3 for a loss. So comparing that, if I bought 10 or 20 of them, it would have been really bad. So you only want to buy a couple at a time. Make sure they're selling. Then if there's still profit margin to be made, then you send in more. Next up, we have this item here that sold for $23.32. Again, similar to this one up here. It was before I had a repricer. Price dropped as more people were sending it in. And so I wasn't able to catch the price as it was dropping because I didn't have a repricer. We'll keep going. Again, another 2 video games. So next one up I actually sold for $61.30. And this one's actually the opposite of the other ones, whereas the repricer would have helped me sell it. This one was when I first got a repricer and I didn't quite know what I was doing. And so I actually ended up selling it for a loss because I repriced it too low. So I lost $4.62. As mentioned before, my next video is actually going to be about getting a repricer. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be notified when that video comes out. And you'll notice as I'm running down this list, there's a lot of the same things. Clearly I don't learn from my mistakes. So this one that I sold for $8.48 was another video game. These ones here are the same as the ones up here, where there's one where I bought nearly 70 units of different colors and sizes. Same thing, didn't have a repricer, so when the price dropped, I wasn't keeping up with it. Keep scrolling, more video games. So next one up, you can see I sold for about $37. There's 2 of them. This one was just straight up bad buy. It's one of the first products I ever bought. I think to prevent this buy, I probably could have been using Keepa properly. At the time, I don't even think I knew what Keepa was. It was one of my first buys. Then these next 2 are the same as the other ones where I mentioned I bought 70 of. More video games. Then these 3 here that I sold for $20. This one, Amazon actually came on the listing, and Amazon almost always is the cheapest. And if you match their price, you're going to lose money. And that's exactly what happened here. For this one again would have been similar to the last one that I mentioned, where if I had Keepa, I probably could have saw that Amazon is usually in stock with it. Next one up, I sold for about $7.89 each. And these were just a price drop. Dropped too quick for my repricer to keep up. Got another replacement. More of these items that I bought for, or sold for about $37. Just more of them. I think I bought 10 total when I first started. I've been lowering the price to try to just get them out of my inventory at this point. Then we got more video games. Then we got more of those 70 items that I was telling you about. All told, even though I lost on a lot of them, I think over the batch of 70, I netted profit, but it was pretty bad buy. We'll keep scrolling down here and see what else I can find. This one down here for $7.89. This one was actually a clearance item, and clearance items suck because they get oversaturated. It's one of the big reasons I don't recommend clearance items unless there's a big profit margin. So as I keep scrolling down this list, a lot of this is the same stuff. A lot of these are like items that I bought when I first started selling on Amazon I didn't learn, or before I had a repricer. I haven't gotten 100% perfect yet, but I've gotten a lot better. And a lot of these losses are items that I've had for a while that I'm just selling now, trying to get rid of them because they're from when I first started. And you can see there's a bunch of them here. And if you actually scroll down here, you can see there's some that I barely made money on. The reason I actually kept these on is because I wanted to mention, even if you're making like 15, 20, 30 cents, you have to consider the price of shipping these items into Amazon. You have to consider the price of any prep work you did. So these, even though they seem like a profit after shipping, after prep work and everything, 1, it wasn't worth my time. 2, I probably actually did lose money on it when considering the other factors. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind, is you want to make sure you have enough profit margin to pay for all the work you put in, or if you need to do prep like bubbling or poly bags. So just to reiterate some of the things I mentioned is 1, is Keepa will help you a ton, keeping track of whether Amazon is just currently out of stock for a short period of time and you're just buying at the wrong time. You want to prevent that so you don't buy an item while Amazon's out of stock for 2 weeks and then it's going to be back in stock for the next 3, 4, 5 months where you're not going to have a chance to sell it. If you see any that are selling for $0, don't be too worried. Just keep an eye on it to make sure Amazon reimburses you for that. 3 is get a repricer, because especially with retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, most of these items don't have a barrier to entry, so there are going to be a ton of sellers that are going to jump on a lot of these items, so the prices are going to drop, and a repricer will help prevent you from losing out completely by simply making less money and selling before your profit margin gets to 0 or negative. And ultimately, I think really you shouldn't be afraid to lose money here and there, but you should be able to learn from each mistake. You should be able to figure out what you're doing wrong and figure out how you could prevent it from happening in the future. So that's pretty much going to be it for this video. If you like it, hit the like button. If you aren't already, please subscribe. And let me know down in the comments what other videos you would like to see in the future. Thanks for watching.